In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what a sales funnel is, and more importantly, how you can create one that actually makes you money. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Erhart, marketing strategist, and welcome to the Marketing Show. All right, so today I'm going to be sharing with you all about sales funnels. Often called marketing funnels, they're pretty much the same thing, and what they are is a process or a system, or basically often looks like a funnel, which I'll explain why in just a minute, but it's a process of taking somebody, prospect or a potential customer or a potential client or whatever, and essentially guiding them through that journey from having absolutely no idea who you are or what you do or why they should even care, and guiding them through all the way through to the end to where they can become a loyal and a paying customer, essentially a lifelong brand ambassador that's going to serve you and you can serve them for years to come. Now, the reason that sales funnels are so incredibly important and the reason that I'm super excited to get to share this information with you here today is because the customer journey, unless it's being planned out and really methodically, strategically designed, it can be kind of a mess. And a lot of businesses, they're kind of approaching their marketing and their sales really haphazardly, which means that there's a lot of slippage or a lot of lost opportunities and a lot of lost customers, which means a lot of lost revenue. And I don't want that for you. Probably the best way to describe this though, and to really kind of differentiate classical or traditional marketing from that of a sales funnel, is with our trusty board right here. So let me map out kind of what classical marketing would look like and what a more sort of custom sales funnel could look like for you. And you can see really quickly just how much more effective the sales funnel is going to be. All right, so here we've got a couple different examples. We're looking at a classic kind of traditional marketing approach at the top, and we're looking at a sales funnel down below. Now, when we're going to be talking about sales funnels today, I am kind of talking strictly in regards to online sales funnels or digital sales funnels, but keep in mind that a sales funnel, again, is really just a process of guiding somebody through who has no idea what you do or why they should care and working them all the way through to becoming a loyal and paying customer. So this can very much happen offline. And in fact, if you have a local business or a brick and mortar business, then your sales funnel probably looks something like somebody maybe Googling your address online, or then maybe coming into your store, maybe getting greeted by a salesperson, maybe being given a tour or a demo, whatever the case. Each one of those touch points is a different stage of your funnel. So with all that said, let's take a look at more of an online approach and basically the classic approach versus the funnel. Now at the top, what we've got here is we've got a visitor, and this first little box is going to be representative of your website. So your website's homepage, where most people are going to stumble across first. So once they get to your homepage, they're going to have the option of, say, an about page, a services page, maybe a blog, maybe a contact page, basically all sorts of different areas that they can start to discover and start to learn about and essentially start to get lost. So they're going to start to bounce around from all sorts of different pages. Could be different blog articles, could be different contact forms or whatever. And the problem is that when they're kind of bouncing around here, they might miss your most valuable page, that one spot that you really want them to get to, the one with all of your testimonials and all of your case studies, and the one that really sells your product or your service and gives you the highest likelihood of converting that prospect into a sale. Basically, the way that I like to think about this is that they're going to be ping-ponging all over the place, and you are kind of gambling whether they're going to end up where you need them to in order to convert that prospect into a customer. The alternative, however, is the sales funnel, which, rather than giving them all sorts of different choices and sort of risking them getting lost or at the very least getting confused, we're going to spell it out crystal clear for them. We're going to send them to one simple page that's going to answer one simple question or provide one solution to a problem they have. We'll then deliver that on the next page, and then from there we will have the option to either take them down the journey a little bit further or provide your service or your product and basically make the offer there. The beauty here is that rather than them kind of like ping-ponging around and ending up all sorts of different places and possibly never ending up in your sales page at all, well, rather we're going to guide them right through here It simplifies and streamlines the entire process and gives you a significantly greater chance of success. All right, now in just a minute, I'm gonna actually break down a real actionable and tactical thing that you can do to go out there and create a sales funnel of your very own, as well as the math behind it that almost certainly guarantees your profitability. So you're not just gonna be creating a sales funnel, you're gonna be creating one that can actually make you money. Before we get there, we first got to cover some of the worst language and most confusing, or I guess the least original kind of language ever in the world of marketing, which describes the stages of the funnel as tofu, mofu, and bofu. Let's talk about that now. Basically, when it comes to the funnel, and the reason that they're referred to as sales funnels or as marketing funnels often has to do with the shape of it and the fact that it pretty much looks like a funnel. Now, the reason this is valuable and the reason it's such a good sort of visual representation to keep in mind is because at the very top of the funnel, this is sort of a broad or mass appeal, or basically where we're going to be dumping a ton of different leads and contacts and all sorts of different people into it. And again, very unoriginally, this top of the funnel is called tofu, which stands for top of funnel. So again, pretty unoriginal, but at least it accurately describes what you're doing, so not a lot of room for confusion. Now, this describes the type of prospect who has no idea what you do, no idea what you're about, they've never heard about you before, they don't know you, like you, or trust you because they've never really met you. So this is essentially the cold part of our traffic. Now from there, once you've introduced yourself, your product, your service, why they should care, well, a portion of them are going to graduate further because they're going to be interested in what you do and basically how you can help them. And they move to MOFU, which is middle of funnel. Again, completely unoriginal, but very accurate. Now, the middle of the funnel, we call this warm traffic. And these are people that are starting to know a little bit more about you, about your product, about your service, and they're starting to be a little more interested in what you do and possibly how you can help them. From there, an even smaller percentage of people are going to want to take the next step, and they're going to move to BOFU, bottom of funnel. So the beauty here is that you should probably never forget these terms again. Tofu for top of funnel, MOFU for middle of funnel, and BOFU for bottom of funnel. These prospects down here, these are your hot traffic. These are people that know you, like you, and trust you. They are probably just about to make that buying decision. Possibly they've already made it depending on how your funnel is structured. But this is basically the hottest amount or the hottest quality of prospect that you're gonna have. And of course, you're gonna be dealing with a significantly decreased number of people way down here. For example, if we've got 100 people at the top, depending on sort of your conversion rate percentages of different pages and different steps of the funnel, we might convert, say, 30% here and then 5% here. So if we've got 100 people in at the top, we might only get out 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 leads or customers or whatever, depending how the funnel's structured. All right, so an incredibly point to cover here is the fact that people at Tofu and MOFU and BOFU, they're gonna require very different styles and very different types of marketing because of their traffic temperature, basically because of their level of awareness of you and the solutions that you provide. So, for example, when we're talking about Tofu traffic, we're talking about cold traffic. These are people that don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you because they never even really heard of you. So for this reason, you're gonna wanna make sure that your marketing is relatively focused on awareness, on basically making sure that you're letting people know that you even exist. One of my favorite questions in all of marketing, one of the most important questions is, does everybody who could buy from you know that you exist? If the answer is no, then you've got some marketing to do, and most people do because pretty much not everybody is going to know you exist unless you're a massive global phenomenon. So this is why at the cold stage, it doesn't make sense to come right out there and pitch them and try to make a sale because the odds of succeeding are going to be really low. So you've got to kind of warm them up, give them a little bit of information, make them aware of your business and of your solution. All right, from there, a percentage of them are going to be interested and they're going to want to move kind of further down the funnel. And this is going to be your warm traffic. These are people who are now a little more familiar with your brand and with your business, and they're taking into consideration your product and your service and if they might be interested in doing business with you. At this point, you can start to get a little more specific and start talking more about your solution and more about how you might be able to help them and possibly the problems that they're going through as well, because the large number of people here, well, they've kind of self-selected, and those that are interested are going to move down, and those that are not interested are simply going to go away. And that's perfect, because your business isn't designed to serve pretty much anybody. You want to serve the people that are going to be best for you and that you're going to be able to provide the best results for. All right, so once that's all done, probably no surprise, the last section here is your hot traffic. These are people that know you, they like you, they're really starting to trust you, and now you can start to speak a little more aggressively about your product, about your service, and how you're positioned to help solve the problems that they have. This is where it's okay to talk really specifically about how you're uniquely positioned to solve for them. You're able to make that pitch, you're able to offer them your product or your service in exchange for dollars. Again, you can be more aggressive here because they're really at this stage should be looking for a solution and they're ready to take action. All right, the next thing that I want to do for you here is break down a simple 4-step funnel as well as the math and the metrics behind it that can all but guarantee profitability. So I want to break down some sort of hypothetical numbers for you so you can see how that might apply to your business and you can make sure, or at least give yourself the greatest odds of success right from the very beginning and the very start of designing your own funnel. All right, so the very first thing that I want to make sure to cover are the steps of this very simple funnel and why this is one of the single most effective funnels that you can run, and it works pretty much regardless of your market, of your business, of your industry, of the area that you're operating in, of the demographics that you're trying to go for, really because it's based on that simple funnel structure of taking somebody who has no idea who you are and then guiding them through the process, allowing you to provide more value, to educate them a little bit, and essentially to help nurture them along. So the very first step always begins with traffic. Now, when it comes to digital marketing and online marketing, we're typically talking about sources like Facebook ads or Instagram ads or YouTube organic videos or whatever the case. But really, traffic can mean anything. It could be from search engine optimization, could be from a referral, could be from a newspaper or a radio ad or a billboard or whatever the case. Basically, anywhere that people are coming from and they first get introduced to your business or to whatever offer you're making constitutes traffic. Now, with this traffic, what we want to do is rather than just send them to your homepage where they're going to get completely lost on your website with way too much to do, we want to send them to a very simple opt-in page. Now, an opt-in page, often called a landing page or a lander, is really just a super simple page on your website or hosted somewhere else that's really making one simple promise or one simple offer. Maybe you're offering some kind of value like a lead magnet or a cheat sheet or a download or a blueprint or a video training series or something like that. But what your goal here is to give them something of value in exchange for their name or at the very least their email address. The beauty here is that by keeping things really focused on one of their unique problems rather than overwhelming them with all sorts of different information and really, again, having them get lost, well, you're really able to make sure that you're streamlining the process and really helping to guide them through to the end solution that your business is ultimately going to be able to provide. So we collect that name and email address, and then we send them to the next page in the funnel, which is the thank you page plus offer. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they just send people to a thank you page. They say, thanks for your name and email. Here's your lead magnet and your cheat sheet and your blueprint or whatever it is that was promised, and they send them on their way. Here's why this is a massive mistake. You see, another part and another thing that makes funnels so effective is that they require and they sort of have built-in micro commitments every step of the way. And if you can get someone to take a series of micro commitments, they're going to be more likely to take that major macro commitment further down the line. This is why the thank you page is one of the greatest opportunities for your business to actually go out there and make the first offer. Whether it's an introductory offer to your business or whether it's just the whole offer for your business or whatever main product or service you're selling, this is a great opportunity to not only give them what you promised you would, because you kind of have to do that, otherwise it's not really ethical, but also say like, look, here's this thing that you said you wanted, but if you want the next step, if you're looking for further support, if you're looking for X, Y, and Z or whatever it is that you do, this is how you take action and basically sort of continue on the relationship. Now, of course, some people are going to take you up on this offer, but most are not, which is why we have this fourth step, which is a combination of retargeting or remarketing and email follow-up. Now, retargeting or remarketing are basically the same thing depending on which platform you use. Everybody's got their own terms, but what this is essentially providing retargeting marketing ads. So following them around with those ads that say, hey, are you still interested in this? Or hey, we also have this for you. If you've ever been to Amazon or basically any site ever, and you've added something to your shopping cart and then you've seen ads follow you around forever, that's retargeting. Retargeting alone is fantastic, but when combined with email marketing, it's really a 1-2 punch because people still read their emails, they still check their emails, and it's still a phenomenal tool to stay in touch and provide more value and give someone further buying opportunities. All right, so now what I want to do for you here is break down the math and the metrics of what a profitable funnel actually looks like. So you can model this and copy this and really make sure that you've got a funnel that's going to make you money right from the very beginning. So with all that said, here's some hypothetical numbers to take a look at. The very first number that you're going to want to take a look at is what's your cost of traffic? Basically, how much is it costing you to get somebody to take some kind of action in order to visit your page? Now, costs are going to vary wildly depending on what the traffic source is and what the quality of the traffic is and whether it's coming from organic content where you're not even paying, and then attribution's a bit tricky, and there's all sorts of messy stuff that goes in here, but for ease of numbers and for the sake of, let's assume, using paid ads, well, there's a great way to do this based on the cost per click, which is essentially how much it's going to cost you to get someone to click to go where basically you want them to go. So for starters, we're going to assume, for easy math, a cost per click of $1. Again, this could be either incredibly low, depending on what niche or what market you're in, or really high if you're in a very profitable, very cheap market. So again, take it with a grain of salt and just use these for reference points only. Now, let's say that we're gonna do that. We're gonna have about $1 a click, and we're gonna run 1,000 clicks. All right, so now that we've got $1 per click and we've got 1,000 people going, the next number that we need to look at is the opt-in rate of 30%. Again, just a hypothetical number here, but let's assume that of the 1,000 people that we send to our opt-in page, 30% opt in. This gives us 300 people. Now, of these 300 people, they're gonna keep moving them further and further down the funnel, and now we're gonna present a thank you page offer to them. So basically, we've got 30% that made it into the opt-in, they're gonna make it over to the thank you page, and we're going to be able to make our first offer to them. So let's take a look at that math. Well, assuming that only, let's say, 5% of the people actually take us up on the offer, that's basically gonna be 15 people. So we've got 15 people that have taken us up on our first offer. And again, for easy math, let's assume that our offer is $100. So with 15 people taking us up on our offer, that's gonna give us $1,500 in revenue just at this stage alone. But it gets even better because now we know for a fact that not everybody's gonna take us up. In fact, only 5% of people are taking us up on this offer. Well, what if we could get another 5% over the next 180 days or so to take us up on that offer as well? Now, appreciate for easy math here, we're just gonna say 15 people. I think it works out to about 14 because we're gonna have 300 minus 15 and 285 times, whatever the case. We're just gonna say 15 for easy math here. Again, 15 people taking us up on that offer at $100, and we've just netted another $1,500. So the beauty here is that by taking a look at all these numbers, by determining what's our original cost per click, by looking at our conversion rate on our opt-in page, by looking at our conversion rate on our offer on our thank you page, and then by looking at our conversion rates further down the line, we're able to spell out a really profitable funnel. In fact, it looks like here we've spent a total of $1,000, and we're gonna make a total of $3,000 for basically a 3-to-1 return, which is absolutely fantastic and something you can definitely scale a business on. And this is the kind of thing that I really want to encourage you do when you're mapping out your funnels. Basically, take a look at every step that's going to be involved with getting somebody from basically having no idea who you are all the way through to becoming a paying customer. And the better that you understand and you're able to sort of interpret and digest the numbers, well, the better and the more profitable, basically the more money you're going to make from your funnel. All right, the very next thing you're gonna wanna do is check out the video I have linked up right over there on marketing funnels, which is gonna give you even more actionable strategies that you can use to take your knowledge and your funnel game up to the next level. So check that out now, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Put it bluntly, you basically don't wanna make an offer right at the